I do feel like Rugby, they were kind of just getting caught, and again, they could just, I think they should just use the card that is copium, right? They should just, again, the first game is for warm-up, now the second game, this is the real one. It's 0-0.
This is real.
Now let's go, guys. Again, we see Nativz now, we're in the draft. They ban out Volibear again. Oh, the Orn ban from Lundorf. That, like, if I'm Lundorf right now, I'm just turbo chilling. Like, I'm so happy.
I mean, getting rid of the tag saying, play a carry, please, we beg you. Diego, Volley, and Leeson, junglers all taken off the menu. So again, that role has been squashed. We're not going to see clocks on the Karma as that one has been taken away. But now the question is Jinx going to get through? No, it's not. Instantly answered. So Munster have a couple of options to go for in that first pick. Aphelios, of course, could be an option for Merbs once again, but the Hecarim, which didn't get banned this time around, does get locked in immediately. Yeah,
and this just says Nativz just... They're kind of saying right now in the series that Jinx is just by far like the best AD carries, even more oppressive than Aphelios the series. They usually don't want to deal with this at all. We see the Saya answer now coming in hot for Yoppa. This is a really good pickup into the Hecarim, right? It's really hard for Hecarim to deal with these champs that has like an escape ability, or the Ari again, the blind pick coming in from really a lot of mobility. This makes Hecarim less valuable.
Yeah, just going for those options and saying, look, we know how powerful this Hecarim is, but we've got two carries that really, unless we're out of position, don't care that much about you picking that one up. But now, what are Munster going to be able to do? Because they know what the mid lane matchup is, which is a bit of a unique situation, because they can go for a counter pick immediately into it, or they can say, we'll let you ban a couple of mid laners and go for something different. And the Misfortune, that's an interesting one to lock in this early on.
Yeah, and this meta has been evolving like through the last couple of weeks, right? We have seen, I mean, this is my role, right? I played AD carry. Jinx, Aphelios, those two are the most oppressive ones, but we have been seeing lately that people are tending to pick the Saya. I haven't seen MF in Division 1 tier play like LEC, but Saya has been popping off a lot actually, and MF is seen as like a, not sort of like a counter, but just an answer basically into Saya. They do kind of the similar things. MF will most likely go for the Comet build with like lethality, and her ulti will be insane actually. But again, I think both Merbs and Jop are confident in this matchup, and it's just kind of like a neutralizing bot lane. It's not gonna be as like a sort of a bot focused game this time around, I think.
And we've got the Nautilus coming in this time around because there's no Renata to stop him from going in. So we're into the second round of bans. Chimera not going to get his hands on the Orianna again because that one has been taken away. And you can maybe see another control mage being picked up that can deal with the Ahri, which is of course what they're trying to shield a little bit, showing that one so early on. The other side, Munster, they could look towards junglers because it hasn't been locked in yet from Nativz. The Kindred is going to be the option. Take away something like the Xin Zhao as well, or the Jarvan, which we saw last game from these two sides. Then you're looking at something, look, you've got the Xin Zhao maybe, but it's not going to be super optimal.
Yeah, again, as you said, right, both the jungle role is so pinched right now. We see the Kindred band coming in, and Snail is really going to be forced on something here. I would assume that Rugby's is gonna ban Grace as its second pick, because this is the natural good pick into Hecarim. But yeah, I was kind of surprised to see the Orianna ban is fine, right? But I was gonna say that Chimera has, I think he has so many champions in his kit, and it's like basically there's similar champions, right? There's control mages, so you can't ban them all. So why not just ban a kind of a, I mean, I'm surprised by this Camille ban actually. I don't know if Sampi has played it a lot, maybe he has, but they're on blue side actually, so Lundorf could decide to just pick a strong champ into it, but they don't want to deal with this Hecarim Camille combo, right? We do see, as you call the Viper, and the Sinsa band coming in, so Grace is actually open. They could go for it.
Could want to grab that one up and give themselves the counter pick in the top lane. But of course, the Jarvan also there as an option, so it's kind of those two ADs, and it will be the slightly more aggressive control Cataclysm style for Snille as he grabs that one. And now Monster Upper Gaming gonna have to reveal what's going to go into these two solo lanes.
Yeah, kind of. This is a hard one, right? Obviously, Chimera will just, again, I'm sure he will just pick a control mage, maybe, probably not the Victor, right? Because he wants something that is at least somewhat mobility into the Jarvan. Looks like a Lissandra for now, which is, as I mean, you called it, right? Like you're saying that this league is just, they're kind of playing standard picks with one or two weird picks, and this is this is the one that we're getting this time around. Now, I guess Stump is just gonna pick up a tank. He could go for the set. He could go for like an Aatrox blind pick. I'm not sure really, but
I mean, the Gnar is available.
The Gnar is available as well. Yeah, there is a lot of. He has to make a decision here, obviously, but I think all of these three could fit very well. But wait.
Oh, Okay, it's going to be the Urgot in the end, which isn't the wildest pick we saw hovered there, but hey, it gives some split push power, it gives a bit of AD and a bit of tankiness up in the top lane, and it's going to be on Lundorf to decide what he wants to temper that with. As we say, there are a couple of meta picks available and out there. You've got stuff like the Gnar, which hasn't been touched yet in this draft. Of course, the Gangplank is an option. I feel like Urgot has quite a good time into Gangplank, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I mean, top is for sure, like, by far my worst role. Every time I get top, I just insta-dodge. I know that I can't play. But I think you're correct, actually. I think Lundorf is for sure, like, confident in... But I think, actually, Stomp, as you said, honestly, why am I even trying? Why am I trying to explain top matchup? I have no clue, honestly. We do see, though, that Chimera is into the Ahri with Lissandra. I assume that he's going to be able to get push early, and... It's kind of strange though, because I'm pretty sure the Gabwatch doesn't want to do anything proactive early. He just wants to farm. It's kind of on Snille to make something happen. He has actually like a lot of lanes to gank, both mid and bot this time around. So this could be an. I thought that the game was almost not going to be as explosive. It was for sure, but I think this one could actually be even more explosive. There's a lot of team fights going on here. I'm
really excited on an emotional level. And I know he's not watching because I think he's streaming currently. But to watch an Ahri get murderized by Lissandra is just, it's going to feel good. Nymera, I hope you're not watching, because just hitting with the ultimate at level 6, caught in the prison, gets absolutely annihilated. But, I mean, I'm interested to see what this Lissandra brings to the table, because we see Lissandra a little bit in this league. It's not something that is super off-meta just because of LeBlanc existing. And Lissandra being a hilarious counter to it, with all the slows, multiple routes, just the ability to blow people up, and has a little bit of a mobility about her as well with that E, which, again, the meme. Lissandra E doesn't slow. It's a big ice claw. Lissandra's E should slow. But what are the Ahris going to be able to do into it? Because it's a relatively safe pick and able to dance around, and was picked to counter the Hecarim, which was shown as the first lock-in. I'm just a little bit worried that, hey, you've gone like, I'm just going to avoid this Hecarim, I'm just going to stay back. We've got the Zarya bot as well. Lissandra can just bundle in, ult someone, and then they die because they get hit by all of the CC that comes through, because you're not able to use your abilities when you're caught in the prison.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I have kind of a fantasy right now. There is a streamer. Okay. He's called Sondergaard. He plays so much Lissandra. It's kind of a one trick, and he plays completely full AP. He goes Ludens into Rabadons, into Void Stuff. It's so insane to play with this guy. Like, he completely one-shots people if he gets the right angle. But I don't think we will see this from Chimera, right? He will probably go the Everfrost, I guess. Yeah.
He's got Aftershock, you can see. Chimera is a man of culture, let it be said. He's going to go for that team-centric build. And, I mean, you can afford to do that when you've got the Hecarim, who's going to be doing a decent amount of damage in the early to mid-game. You've got, of course, Stumpy on the top lane Urgot with Press the Attack, and with the changes to Hullbreaker, not sure. I'm actually interested to see where Stumpy goes with his build, because Hullbreaker was the vogue, but with those changes to ranged Hullbreaker users, it being so horrible as far as to almost kill Gnar, I want to see whether Stumpy still wants to go for it or wants to go for something a little bit different, maybe going for a Black Cleaver earlier on, just going straight to that Mythic.
Yeah, I'm also just curious to see. I feel like there are two champs in this game that I just love to have as one tricks in my team. Is both the Lissandra and the Urgot. Again, this Urgot, I do feel like when the Hullbreaker was actually like a thing on this guy, I hope it still is, and it's still like, as I said, that even though the nerfs, maybe it still can do some damage. I feel like you just get so tanky with this item, and it's whenever I just have this in my team, I just know that it's kind of insta win. It's like, I don't even know why there is some champs, you know when you have like this Yasuo one trick on your team, you always know for sure that it's kind of lost. But there are some champs you feel like, okay, now it's actually like looking so insane here. I know this guy is good. We will pop off, and I hope something will do us a favor this game and just completely run Lundorf over, despite Lundorf having the counter pick.
Yeah, for me it's always set. Whenever I see a set one trick, I'm like, yeah, we've won this game. And they're always very chill, always very relaxed individuals as well.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Still, he's not relaxed. They're going for the engage, going to be able to catch out Baloo, and dives away, but is rooted up. Actually survives the Ignite burning down, but he's got enough healing, runs that pot, and should be able to get away. But you said this game was going to be action-packed. Nativz already bringing the pain.
Okay, so honestly, we were thinking about one tricks, right? So I actually didn't see how Snille managed to get into this area. Like he went red into Raptors and then ran straight to bot, and he somehow got behind Monster Rugby's bot lane. That was kind of weird because they have this ward in mid as well. But well played from Snille. He has managed to become kind of a ninja in that regard. He's completely dodging all the vision. He doesn't really lose anything from it, right? He just loses a bit of tempo. Gabosh is just now like finishing his full clear. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, actually, the ward hasn't come out yet from Chimera in the mid, so Snille is really early. Just goes, oh, this is so cheesy, man. The fact that they didn't get anything out of this is kind of depressing for Snille. He loses again. He doesn't lose any camps, but he loses a lot of tempo that Hecarim really likes to have on the map. Baloo somehow survives this without even using his flash. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like everything else was blown. Flash and heal from Murbs were used, so while it looks like there wasn't that much gained from Baloo himself, except, you know, pots and a bit of fear, Murbs is now in a very gankable position because Misfortune's quick, but she's not that great at dodging, and realize hanging around. Snille is behind them once again, but the Ari's not going to look to go too far down. Murbs actually probably going to catch him out and is going to need to be in a little bit of trouble, but going to be able to flag and drag away. Snille finds his way out. But Nativz, they've got all the pressure in the bot lane. They're definitely playing around it. Yeah, really looks like, I mean, Chimera had the counter pick, right? And I guess Lissandra scales well into Ahri, but really has for sure like the early push in this matchup, and he can just decide to go bot on every single slow push. Ooh. Now they're actually looking to dive this. Merps has no summers, remind you. Gabush is there. Teleport comes down from Stumpy. They want to keep members alive, and Nativz are forced to back away before the play even starts, but they did manage to get Stumpy on the wrong side of the map, which for Lundorf on the gangplank is massive. Yeah, just having TP attention on GPO, right? He can just decide now what he wants to do with this lane. He's probably just gonna keep, he's just gonna base her, hopefully keep his TP and be able to kind of gap Stumpy now. He has so much gold lead. I do kind of like the TP though from Stumpy. I think if Murbs ends up going down there, he loses so much on the map. And it's kind of a good, it's kind of an investment, right? Like he's saying basically that if Murbs doesn't get behind, then he's gonna be able to do so much damage later on. But now, as you said, right, like Lundorf completely confident in this matchup, still has the TP, is like almost 10 CS up. Stumpy's gonna be able to obviously pick up some of this wave, but yeah, I mean, good early practice from Nativz. They know where they have the push and they just know where they can force a play, and they do it actually. And that's really nice to see, because last game, Munster were ones who were kind of making the early proactive plays, and while, of course, we saw how great Nativz were after those early 5, 6, 7 minutes, this time around, Nativz are showing that they're the ones with the proactivity, but now it's going to be Yoppa getting engaged on, needs to be a little bit careful, diving away, gets the cleanse, tries to put some damage down, but can't step back into the fight. Doesn't die, but has to recall, and hey, now maybe Nativz are a little bit more gankable. Yeah, maybe Stumpy's investment actually working out in his favor. I guess that Yoppa has to base it. Yes, he's scared of the dive now coming in from Chimera and Gabosh. He's gonna be able to, maybe he's actually gonna be able to stay up in farm despite like having to absorb all this early pressure from Snille. And look, I mean, Snille has been trying to force summon, which is what you have to do as Jarvan, right? You have to force summons early, you have to play around this and try to make the game explosive, but now the only thing he could force for the summers, and how he's 20 CS down already from Gabosh, and he's not gonna have a good time in this 1v1. No, he's not going to want to go near the Hecarim if he can avoid it. He needs to, there's still an opportunity to go in and try and make some plays happen, and he's got lanes that he can still do it around. He's moving up towards this top side just to grab those Krugs as Stumpy decides to leave lane once again. Not particularly interested in staying around, but he's got nothing to play for, grabbing fruit and scuttling back up. But this is going to be interesting because Nativz, while they've been the ones making proactive plays happen, and we applaud them for that because proactive League of Legends is entertaining, they haven't gained anything mechanically, and this has given Munster the opportunity to get their Hecarim a little bit ahead to allow them to maybe be the ones who are making these stronger proactive plays around first Dragon, Rift Herald, first tower going down. Yeah, and again, like you could just look at the goal right now and say like, but wait, Nativz is just, they're just kind of dead even in gold, right? But this like kind of a wait. I'm not gonna talk. In trouble, but Clocks has moved forward. Gabush is the jungler en route though, and he's going to dive forward with the ultimate. Sends Nautilus fleeing, but the flash flees him the right direction. As you can see, members now moving down. Chimera needs to be a little bit careful as he's getting punched up, but it's going to be Snille looking towards Gabush. But remember, this Hecarim's had a bit of time to farm. He's got support as well. The knockup is massive. First blood goes over to the Ahri though, as now they're looking to catch out more members. Murbs goes down. Chimera's in full retreat, floating away, and it's all going on to the Ahri. It's a triple kill for the mid laner. Nativz now have a new lane to play around.
That looks so initially so good from Rugby, right? They just the pass that's tilting as well. Just passing after.
Kamara is just like, I'm gonna pause. You've just given my lane opponent a triple kill. Like, there's a bug. There's a bug in this game somewhere.
God damn. Yeah, I was again. We're just kind of constantly cursing it, right? We're gonna get our faces here, actually, not a replay. We're gonna get something even better. But I mean, that looks so good for Rugby initially, right? They just forced a flash from Nativz, and I was kind of thinking in my head, maybe it's not good to use Hacker Multi here because they can force a Dragon, they should win the fight. But after that, they just get kind of collapsed on, and they're so... Again, this is what we talked about in the first game too. Like, Rugby, they're just looking so split. Nativz is playing completely like as a unit, and we see here that Rugby, they for sure don't know what to do in this case. They don't have Hacker Multi. They can't really force. Chimera is on the other side of the map. He's actually shanked by Relay as well, and they have no business in being here, actually.
And it's just the case that Relay was already moving, so they already had support coming on down. It was a 4v4 when they'd already built up small advantage. Yes, the Hecarim is pretty comfy in terms of having that extra farm, but once the ultimate's gone, you're not going to be able to do the same amount of work as Jarvan is, because all of your CC is in that one charge where you can hit one person with it, which is fine. But when you're getting a massive knock up into an Ari charm and all that damage coming through from multiple members, Nativz just always were the ones who are favored to win that fight. And now the question being, for me, is you've got a lot of gold. It's been put onto the Ari, just the mid laner. So what can we expect to see in the next few minutes? Are we going to see complete control over these neutrals just because the mid lane's going to be so one-sided?
I mean, I think it's kind of weird to me, right? Because now Relay is obviously Snowball. He just got 3 kills in that fight. But even before that, he had complete wave control of the mid wave, like for the first 6 minutes. You could say that maybe this is because Jarvan exists in the game. You have to kind of respect him early with the ganks because everyone always wants to farm, right? But at some point, Chimera kind of counterpicked this matchup, and he has kind of been standing at his tower like during the whole early game. And I think as I said, right now when Nil really is so snowballed, it's not gonna be any easier. And I think, as you said, it's gonna be really rough for Rugby to play if Nativz just keeps play through this mid into bot. Through mid into bot. They can decide, they can even go top, but they don't really have to because again, Lundif is on his GP, he's gonna scale, and for sure, like the ball is just in Nativ's corner right now. They can decide kind of pretty much whatever they want to do, and Rugby just has to try to counter it or come up with some sort of plan to maybe cross map. If they go for bot, they go for top, but it's for sure rough for them.
I mean, it's another case of Munster Rugby Gaming are now playing from behind, so we'll have to see how they can respond, and if they can find a better way of responding than they did in game number 1, where they fell behind and it felt very, very comfortable for Nativz. They never really were threatened. There was never really an opportunity where I saw, hey, Munster Rugby Gaming are going to get back into this one. The very early stages where Munster were grabbing some macro plays, grabbing themselves that first tower, grabbing themselves an objective when people were moving around the map. But this game, if they're going to be able to grab themselves, if they can't grab themselves like the first Rift Herald, maybe in the first Dragon, then you've got to say, well, the solution that they came up with game number 1, which was fine for 5 minutes, but no more than that, is now also gone. They're going to have to find a big boost. Just to give you a little update on why we are still our faces and not the team's faces. I've been trolled completely by production because we're back. It was Nativz who paused the game was what I was going to say, but it looks like the issues has now been resolved. So we are on to the Rift. As you can see, 8 minutes in, little gold lead, 1,000 to the good for Nativz as they grab themselves that triple kill in the first real skirmish. Dragon also went their way in an Infernal early. It's always going to feel pretty decent when you're already in the lead.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And I mean, that's like kind of you have to remember that this is the best of 5, right? It's kind of I mean, I'm sure that Nativz didn't do this on purpose, but it's kind of mental edge to pause right after you win a fight, because it does one of two things. Either Rugby, they have time to like calm down a bit and they realize that, wait, I mean, are 3-0, but we can still play the game, or they're just completely tilted and they keep tilt because the game is paused and they're just thinking about, wait, what happened in this fight? Why are we inting like this, you know? And now Relay, again, as you said, he's sitting on the Everfrost. Chimera just has the, I call it's Lost Chapter, right? It's called, I always call it
Lost
the book.
Chapter.
Yeah, I don't know
why is
book.
That's a long chapter.
Yeah,
that's what always gets me, because that looks like a full book or like a manuscript at least. And I don't know what kind of books people are writing. I mean, I assume it goes. Well, I don't know
like,
which book it goes into, but
I remember the longest book I read was like the Order of the Phoenix. It's like a 1K pages.
That is quite
maybe
like Game of Thrones, they're all very chunky.
Yeah,
but
it's for sure one of those two.
It has to be. I like to think it's Order of the Phoenix. That's what Chimera's been reading. Just it is off time. Moving towards probably the Everfrost, you've got to imagine. But
yeah,
he is not going to get there yet, and Rilla is already. And Stumpy just sitting and watching Lundorf just do this crab out of vision, just like, hello, it's me, Urgot, and he's going to put some damage down actually, and he's going to have to be a little bit careful. Nativz on the bot side setting up for a defense, maybe looking for a gank now as they're going to dive forward towards Murbs, who does have flash and will be able to get out of the Cataclysm if the trigger is pulled by Snill. Nice knockup from Baloo though. The anger goes wide, and now it's going to be a 3v3. Sniller already going low, and a lot of resources already being burned. Gaboosh into the backside, grabs one, Yoppa goes up, comes down, and gets taken low. Will be deleted for the second as Gaboosh riding forward goes golden for clocks as Baloo burns, but should survive, and it will be another kill going over as Gaboosh survives with the double shield from Baloo. Munster Rugby Gaming even up the scoreline.
Damn, and this is what we want to see, right? We don't always want to see Nativz going 3-0, taking it home really early. We see now Rugby, they are not afraid to like pull the trigger when the opportunity arises. Really though, is roaming down. I don't think he will able to achieve much. I think he will just decide to pick up the bot wave unless... Wait, Lundorf actually used the gameplay ulti there as well. They have a lot of resources used by Nativz, but Rugby for sure, just now they can breathe a bit, right? They're now 20 CS ahead on this. Wait, this is a slow like a Stumpy! Oh my god!
Excuse me? Stumpy? I don't know how that came to pass, but that is excellent news for Munster Rugby Gaming, because if they can get the Urgot rolling, suddenly they're going to have a huge side lane threat that's going to really set their gangplank back.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Lundorf like actually used his TP earlier than this, so he doesn't even have it anymore. And now Snail has to cover the top side, while Hecarim is just doing Herald currently. And damn, this game really turned on its head. Like this gank really snowballed in the Rugby's favor. I think this was kind of flippy to go for, honestly. I guess they could assume that Hecarim was top side maybe, but for sure if they know his bot side, this is kind of questionable to go for. But they do decide to go for it, obviously, and Murbs not actually getting it heal. I think Baloo got one, but it's kind of crazy that Gabosh actually survived it as well. I thought for sure he was dead, but Baloo just managed to get the E up in correct time. And the Triumph stack as well. That's crazy.
Able to keep him out. 2 members on sub 100 health, but this is what we saw from Stumpy up top just after that while we were checking out what the aftermath of bot lane was as Real looks to make moves down. He just steps up and just flips him up, takes him low, shoots him, and then goes for the ultimate.
I guess what happened there is Lundorf was actually checking on bot, like to find a good ultimate angle, right? And checking where they were, and he didn't. Stumpy actually realized this thing just walked in his face, and I mean he just all in. Like Lundorf still had flash up, but there was nothing he could do. He was just dead. And Stumpy actually went for cool as well in this match. Like once he catches that in, he's gonna be super happy. Once I assume this is like the hull breaker, right? The pickaxe, the ruby crystal. Yeah, so that's gonna be a tanky boy.
Unless I believe that also goes to Totalic Hydra if he's going to go in that direction instead, but you'd imagine the TM out would have been picked up by now, but we'll keep our eyes just to make sure that it is going to go towards that hull breaker. But it'd be an interesting decision if it is, and hey, Stumpy got the solo kill, so grabbing that hull breaker and causing a big commotion as Chimera does the same, diving forward, looking towards Rilla, gets the ultimate down. He's going to be able to get out of it, but now the fight's kicking off in earnest. Gaboosh is caught out by the Cataclysm. Murbs is going to be hit up by the ultimate.
Here.
He should be able to escape. Lundorf is running down. Yoppa's on the other side looking for the flank. Passes forward, gets a root onto 2, but has to dive away because he's caught out by Gaboosh. Manages to get 1, but now Munster Rugby Gaming in a whole heap of trouble. Gaboosh gets dragged back in and taken out. Just like that, Nativz pick up 3 and move towards the dragon.
Their solo lanes are so stacked right now. Both Lundorf and Rilla has got a triple kill of each in this game. Stumpy though, he knows he doesn't have TP, right? He just has to push top. He gets 3 plates, which is huge in itself. But like Yoppa, that's so respectable. Like he's so behind on this Saya. He knows that he's just kind of sometimes sometimes you're required to be the hammer of the team. You have to carry. This is Rilla and Lundorf in this game, and this game Yoppa is just kind of the nail. He has just to make sure that he like provides resource for his team. That ulti flash into E was actually insane. That was like MVP performance right there. I want to see it again.
Well, luckily we're gonna see it again. So the fight looks like it's gonna be okay initially, but then Munster Rugby are just forced to back away, take a lot of damage, and here's the engage from Yoppa on the side, just real Malphite ult energy coming through.
Damn, that's crazy. That's like montage. Like if Yoppa ever releases a montage, that play will be in there for sure. Like probably the first play of the clip actually will it will be that flash play. That was crazy. Lundorf now, after getting solo kill, actually putting up a triple kill in that fight. I was kind of surprised to see GP roaming down. I assume it was for the dragon that spawned. And then we see the not so sexy Mounted Soul once again.
Oh, yes.
But, yeah, and we were correct, I guess. The Hullbreaker now has been completed for Urgot. Let's see if this can snowball him into a tower or something.
That does really interest me, and because reminder, this is a nerfed item, so it's not going to be doing as much as it used to. Urgot's no longer going to be an unkillable mess who does 1 million damage to all objectives he goes near, but he's still going to have that ability to be a bit tankier when he's alone against the gangplank. Baloo is alone against 3 members of Nativz, and yeah, don't do that, Baloo.
Yeah, this is actually. Okay, Baloo, I know you know that I think you're good, but this is actually one of the improvement areas I had with him when I played with him on team as well. There was times when he was go for this solo ward experience, right? And sometimes it works. If your name is Hylissang, you can do this because you know where everyone is on the map. But that for sure is a mistake, right? You're not supposed to go ward alone. He gets caught there. He gets punished for his sins. Good pickup there from Nativz, and. Monster Rugby actually still in the lead considering the fights have been so explosive.
Oh, but the fight's going explosive this direction, and now it's going to be the kill. Just the shutdown onto Murbs, and now Clock's able to get away. But we talked about this build. It's not even 2 full items yet. Hasn't even picked up the Mythic, but Murbs' ultimate does mount.
Yeah, damn, that's a lot of damage. Really didn't have the cleanse back up yet, and I assume that Robbie just knew this. It's coming up right now when he's dead. That's kind of sad for him to see. They're actually going for this mid tower, but I'm not sure if they can go for it. Yoppa is here to grave clear. And I actually want to talk a bit about the builds, because I thought for sure every Saya I see that goes this lethality right where you're poking a lot. But Yoppa actually decided to go for... He's actually playing crit Saya this time around. When I guess he's going to be able to kill Urgot and Hecarim in the late stage of the game. But I think for sure that this... I mean, I would not go for this personally, because I think that the poke build is just... It's kind of OP. This is kind of the classic with AD carries actually. Whenever there's a build where it does not involve like complete like standard build, then it's probably OP actually. This is like kind of what happens. I will see if Yoppa, maybe he like gets another crazy combo off with his ulti, or maybe he's just able to kill the front line later. But I think this is a questionable build for him actually. But it's interesting to see that you're not. He's not like just autopiloting, right? This is actually respectable though, because a lot of people there just kind of autopiloting both their builds and their items. So at least he's like trying to be the 1v9 carry for Nativz with his crit build.
I mean, interestingly, he's gone for the Gale Force rather than the Kraken Slayer, so maybe not even looking specifically to take down the Hecarim and Urgot, but maybe more looking to have a little bit more maneuverability in the fights. And hey, if he's just going to go for those crazy engages, having that extra little bit of a dash and an extra bit of damage, potentially just to finish up someone like Murbs, like Baloo, could be useful.
Yeah, it could be for sure. He has to prove me. They has to prove me wrong this game though, because I think for sure that when I look at the champs, for sure just having like poke into Hecarim, there are a lot of champs on rugby. They just want to go in, right? And this is what Saya, like poke Saya wants. She just wants people to come into her. She can kite back. She can poke them. She can slow them with Sarildas. It's really oppressive. But again, let's see if Yoppa can prove me wrong this game. I'm not gonna be. If he decides to just completely put on a carry performance, then I'm gonna say this build is good.
So keep your eyes on Yoppa in the next couple of fights to see if he's a genius or or a lunatic. I guess it's one or the other.
Yeah, that's for sure. Speaking of builds, though, I see the triple crit cloak coming from Ludendorff. This is also respectable. I guess it goes into like Collector, Infinity Edge, and something else.
Is that respectable? Is it?
Maybe it's not actually. Maybe
He's just flipping the coin.
Actually,
just like there will be in the 1v1 against the Urgot where he'll be a reasonable amount. You've got to match just because the Hullbreaker is gonna incentivize Stumpy to be away from the team. Although he's hanging around his team right now, he's gonna like, I'm just gonna flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, I win the 1v1. Which,
yeah,
you know,
that is could work. But as you said, maybe not respectable. Maybe it's flippy, as you said. Maybe it's not good. I mean, I can assume that it's going into like Collector, Seal, and Infinity Edge, which actually gives you like the 60%. Yeah. If you have another Chloe, I'm not sure actually. But Baloo, Baloo is actually so crazy, man. He's banned them in lights. Okay, enough about items. Now it's time for the third Drake. I guess both these teams want to contest it, and Snill is caught a bit here.
Yeah, needs to be careful, but the rest of his team is running forward, and now Gaboosh is the one who needs to be wary. We'll be able to ride back towards the bot side as Nativz looking to try and take control of this dragon. Munster Rugby Gaming currently the one standing in river with the vision control, and it's going to be on Lundorf to just push up the minion wave in mid lane and cause some pressure, but Munster really wants to grab this one third dragon of the game for Nativz so they can secure it. The ultimate comes down still on the back line, gets onto Merz, but he's alone right now. Clocks is there with the support, but it needs to be careful. Still diving right back in. Relay comes through the fight as well, as Nativz need to be a little bit careful. Health bars are low, but Merz is deleted before his ultimate can do too much, but Chimera is there. Munster Rugby Gaming ripped up the other side of the fight off screen, and now it's just 2 versus 3. Jungler just for Munster Rugby Gaming. Azaya on the back line, no health bar to speak of, as will be the objective going over to Munster Rugby. First of the game for them, but it slows down the soul.
Yeah, really important, a crucial fighter from Rugby. Honestly, none of us saw what happened on top side there. I just assume that Stumpy has kind of rolled over enemy team. He's still full HP. He managed to, I guess he has managed to kill them all. We were kind of busy with Snille and the Merbs fight. I assume we were going to see a replay from this. Yes, we definitely are. So I mean, obviously, like they want to go and catch Merbs, right, in this fight. But Stumpy is so tanky. Like, look, they can't do anything on the side of Nativz. He does so much damage as well. He gets the 700 gold shutdown. He forces Saya off, and after that, like, even though the fight is split up, they just Stumpy's like he just makes sure that their carries on the side of Nativz can't deal damage, and then I just won from there.
I mean, the question now has to be, what's the deal with Stumpy? How can Nativz deal with this Urgot?
Yeah, no, it's a completely valid question. He has now the Titanic Hydra as well. Lundorf has gone also for. Okay, so the thing is with GPs, when you go for the Triforce build, it's because you want to split push, right? But I'm pretty sure there's no way in hell that he's like winning this only one against Stumpy when he's this fed. He has 2 items already, even though Lundorf has the Infinity Edge. He has the double cloak, so I guess it kind of checks out. He gets the 60% passive. It's not a grief Infinity Edge. But again, as you said, like who can deal with this? Joppa needs like at least 1 or 2 more items, and he's put so far behind this game. I don't know who can kill Stumpy even. No one. Is Chimera gonna get caught here though? That's the real question.
He's just going to push up wherever he goes to the bushes. Really actually going to dive forward, gets the slow, but not the root. And now it's going to be the double root from Chimera. Clocks is there as well. Teleport's coming up through. We're going to see a full-blown team fight as the Cataclysm comes up. But Munster Rugby Gaming are here in support. They're grabbing a lot of CC and a lot of damage. Going to grab in with the ultimate too as Stumpy picks up another. Clocks is in full retreat. Relay dives away. And Lundorf up on the top side trying to get the barrel speed to get himself out. But Gaboosh is going to be there for the double kill for Stumpy. Another 2 for Urgot. As now Nativz need to be a little bit careful. It's a 4v3. But Joppa's full health. You can see that they kind of want this fight, but in the end, there's just not a good opportunity for them to take it as they back away.
We were discussing it, right? Stumpy is completely unkillable. I'm not gonna talk too much, but this looks like such a hard Nash for Rugby for to contest. They don't have a smite. Snille is still dead. They're doing this Nash quite fast. They're gonna get the TP in from Chimera as well. I assume this is just gonna be a free Nash for Rugby.
I think it will be, because Snille just respawned is running there, but it's on 4k unless Joppa and Clock can do some big work. But they're going to be both rooted up, and the damage coming through is massive. Joppa's in a heap of trouble, goes down to Baloo, as Clocks will also fall. They did manage with their lives to stop the Baron going down.
So quite respectable sacrifice there from Joppa and Clocks. I do feel if Rugby just completely ignored them, they for sure would have gotten that Nash. But nonetheless, they get 2 kills, they get to base. They get tempo on the map because Joppa and Clocks are dead for such a long time. Merbs though has to base still. Wait, he's actually gonna get caught in though, right? I think he wins this actually.
Ooh, he might do. Shut down.
Damn. That's I was gonna say that's so sad. It was really close. Like really, if he gets, because imagine right, if really gets that kill a bit faster, he can get another dash and he probably gets out. But Merbs with the Eclipse passive gets the shield off, manages to just win that 1v1, and he gets a shutdown as he said. And now this MF is, we've been seeing it in the fights, right? Even though Stumpy has been like kind of the carry in these fights, he's just completely unkillable, does so much damage. The fact that Snille has to kind of always go for Merbs is just really letting Stumpy play the fights however he wants. Now Lundorf has no flash. He's just gonna be dead, right?
He's in a lot of trouble, and Munster Rugby are the only ones who are going to come in, and another solo kill for Stumpy.
And Stumpy's just putting on 6 solo kills this game, and Joppa, this game is just exploding, my friend. They're getting another kill on the mid lane. I wonder if they're gonna even bother to go Nash, or if they're just gonna play for the silent towers and the mid tower. They're just opening the map completely. This looked like Munster Rugby in game 1. Like Nativz now is getting caught left and right, and really rough for them to play.
Yeah, now it's going to be another catch, this time onto Snille, and he's going to be removed, really. Needs to use the ultimate to dive away, but it will be the tower on the bot side going over to the Urgot. As Munster, as you say, just look to blow open the map. They've got 35 seconds on the dragon, which is enough for a couple of recalls, as Clock's just giving a little bit of respect, doesn't want to go near too many people, stops Chimera's back, and will then wander off.
Really good pickup there though from Rileb. Decides to just ult in. He's just like, hey, screw it, let's just try to go for a kill. He actually one-tap Smurfs in that fight. I honestly don't know how he managed to not win the 1v1 in mid when he there. I guess he missed. If he missed her charm, I guess that's like a lot of damage going out, and I guess that's what happened in the mid lane. But there he has completely popped Merps. He didn't have time to react to the flash, and yeah, I mean, Merps is gonna be able to though reach this fight in time because he's playing MF. He's gonna have a lot of movement speed and also the home guards from the base. And I assume that Nativz, they know that they're behind, right? They don't want to fight this right now. They just want to give up the Drake. They want to keep scaling, get Yoppa to 3 items at least. Because if he doesn't have 3 items, there is no one in this game that is killing Stumpy.
I mean, the issue being, if you give up all of these mountain dragons, Stumpy's getting tankier.
Yeah.
And at this stage, it's going to become harder and harder to even scratch the surface of this mechanized war machine. 6-0-1 on the Urgot. Has the Black Cleaver now as well, looking towards the mythic item. Probably going to go towards that Iceborne Gauntlet, I imagine. Just to give himself that extra bit of tankiness and allows him to stick on targets a little bit better. But honestly, it's terrifying.
Yeah, he's completely scared. Like if I'm playing in this game, if I'm GP into Urgot now, I'm just telling my team like I'm not laning into this champ. I just go somewhere else and hope it works out, right? But I could imagine this could actually be. Actually, I'm not sure about items. Does this Aegis thing build into Gargoyle? I don't think so, right? It's like
it doesn't anymore. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not. But it's gonna be interesting to see his 4th item. But again, I think no matter what he builds, he's gonna be completely unkillable regardless. He could build a Bloodthirster for all I know, and he will still be just complete tanky before Yoppa gets. Yeah, that would be fun.
Exceptionally questionable, but yeah, it would be very fun, as you said. Just get him to get all that lifesteal and just sit in fights for even longer. But Nativz just trying to clear out some vision, control a bit of their routes to Baron, if not the Baron pit itself, because they don't want to allow Munster Rugby to get the drop on them to get a bait play, as it were. And the issue being for Nativz, they need to find a route in. The one good piece of information, I suppose, is that if Stumpy's not in a fight, or if they can take Stumpy down somehow, he's a lot of their gold. He's a lot of what the lead is.
Yeah.
In fact, 6 kills in the lead, he's their entire lead in terms of kills. If Nativz can find themselves a 4v5 or even a 4v4 with the Ahri in it, maybe they can find a positive play.
Yeah, so as you said, right, it's gonna be rough to kill him. But I think actually if really Stumpy doesn't have that much of like magic resist right now, and I think if really could look to focus him down and then look to clean up the fight afterwards, because I think going for Merps like every single fight, it just enables Stumpy so much to play the fight however he wants, because Nativz, they're just throwing everything that they have onto these Merps, and Merps is not even he's not the main protagonist of this anime. Like he's just like a sub character. Stumpy is for sure like the main protagonist, and with the charm coming in onto Stumpy, maybe it's possible. I'm not sure, but I think that's the way, and that's kind of the saving grace again for Nativz. This game is that really is so insanely fed on this Ahri. He has 8 kills. He already picked up the Rabadon, not even 30 minutes into the game, and if there's gonna be any difference maker in this Nativz comp, then for sure it's the Ahri.
Ahri's trying to make a difference, looking towards the top side. Can't find Chimera, who's protected by the ward, and Gabush is there as well. But you can already see Yoppa picking up the 2nd item. Lord Dominic's Regard really wants to be the solution to the Stumpy problem. And you could also see that they've gone for the Shadow Flame down on Relay to get rid of that shield. That is going to be pretty big on the Urgot. But now Munster Rugby Gaming move towards the mid laners from Nativz. Yoppa clocks as the mid-jungle duo turns up to support. But Munster have got complete control over the game. The one questionable thing is they've got so much control but haven't been able to achieve very much in the last few minutes.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It's good for Nativz to be able to slow down the game. I do feel like Yoppa just having this Dominic's is a good item, right? It's for sure the correct buy, but I feel like it's like putting a band-aid onto like an open wound right now. Stump is not gonna really care about this. The good thing right now though for Rugby is, I mean, they're kind of scared, which I can respect. If they're 0-1 down, they're not really that keen to force Nash on the other side. When in the first game, Nativz, when they were ahead, they just insta-force it. But now, looks like they're gonna force a fight though.
Ooh, a decent amount of damage, but it's gonna be returned by this Fortune Ultimate. Really on the side, needs to be careful, has to dive away. Can't get anything onto Chimera, but he's gonna go low himself. Lundorf picks up the first kill of the fight, but now the question is, can they deal with Stumpy? He's in the backline on top of Clocks, and a lot of work's being done by Baloo, who dives away once again. Still, he can't get the knock up, but gets some damage down as Nativz run to the wind. It's 1-for-1 in the end. But it looked great for Nativz. They just couldn't get that final shot down.
Yeah, that looked, as I said, right, I think Rugby, they went so deep in that fight. Stumpy was not able to, like, join the fight. And the good thing, though, about this is that next fight, it's going to be super explosive because none of the teams, they have so much gap close in the Hecarim, the Lissandra, the Rakan, and none of the sides really have flashes. It's only Baloo and Lundorf who has flash. So this next fight, Baloo can really, like, showcase himself by finding, like, a good combo, right? But I think this could actually be the downfall of Rugby. If they are like, they're too keen to like force a fight and they go this deep as they did into the choke that is like GP and Ari, and then Nativz are actually really happen. They can make a comeback, but now Clocks, no flash. Really is on the flank though. This could be a long con fight.
They're thinking about it. One thing I should note, apologies. I absolutely griefed you. It is Gargoyles on the Urgot. He definitely feels outrageous. I was just hard trolling earlier.
I mean, I didn't know as well.
Rilla coming on forward, goes onto Mubs, gets a lot of damage, has to get killed down onto Mubs. Stumpy's still alive though. Chimera on the backline doing so much work. They drag it and kill the carries. Rilla's still alive. Snille is there too, but no one else survives. And now Gaboosh looking to run someone down, can't find them as a double kill comes up for Chimera to finish that one out. And now Munster are going to move towards Baron.
And I'm gonna mention it again, we talked so much about Stumpy, right? But going into this series, I thought for sure that Stumpy's job, it was just to absorb a lot of pressure, make sure that Merps and Baloo, they can play the bot matchup however they want, and they're supposed to care. This is what I thought. But now, looking at this, like in the instant of the beginning of the fight, really again finds a crucial pick onto Merps, and I thought for sure that this was the fight for them to come back. But after that, Rugby, they just clean house, and they just get the free Nash, they get the ace of the fight. Stumpy is just completely 1v9 on this Urgot, and it's just so impressive to see, man. He's completely cracked.
And now we're going to see the Baron going down onto all 5 members, I believe. I believe Merbs was able to skill out. Yeah, he was. So that's going to be Baron onto 5 members of Munster Rugby Gaming. Nativz, as their job has just become a whole lot harder, but Munster were pretty slow to achieve anything in the past few minutes. Question being, will this Baron be the solution that can help them close out this game?
And you hope so, right? Because even though they should for sure, in 10 out of 10 cases, they should win this game, right? But it also, again, it's a best of 5. If Nativz can show that they're actually good at like stalling the game out, and Rugby, again, as you said, they were not so keen on forcing the Nash. They won the fight now, so of course they're gonna take the free Nash. But Nativz, when they were ahead, they didn't even have the best vision. They just started it and knew that if there's a fight gonna erupt, then they're gonna win it for sure. And now it's up to Rugby to, as you said, they are up to them to like make sure that they finish this game cleanly, and make sure that there's no hesitations going into the next game of this series. I'm not gonna say this game is over, right? Because there's always a world where Lundorf gets like 5-man ulti combo with Rille like getting a charm off, but it's looking rough. And now Clocks.
Clocks and Lundorf going to be caught out. It's actually going to be the gangplank that they tried to get on top of. Will be able to get the kill down very easily on top of him. Now the Ari has recalled from bot lane and is moving up towards the team, but it's going to be a 4v5. Still in the mid lane all alone. Goes golden with the stopwatch, and now running forward the Requiem coming on through as Stumpy has to dive away, but still half health. Still feels very comfortable staying in this fight. Gets a shield, gets another kill. Merb securing this one. I think this could be curtains as Munster Rugby Gaming grab 2, grab the inhibitor, and move towards those Nexus towers. Only 3 members of Nativz left to defend. Huge misfortune. Ultimate gets eaten by a couple of stopwatches. Everyone goes down. Ace, base, and game for Munster Rugby Gaming as they even up the series 1 apiece.
Man, that's mental for Stumpy right there. He's 1v4 and he decides to E in on his champion. Like, that's completely, I'm gonna say it again, like cracked. That's one of my words that I use a lot. And this Stumpy, like, this guy deserves it. Like, it's popping off completely. And we spoke about how Rugby has to end this game clean. 20 seconds after that, they get 1 pick. Then they get a fight, the team, they just go next, right? Now it's 1-1. Now we have a series on our hands, Viperin.
Absolutely, and it's a case of saying, we said at the beginning of the game, look, tempo has been set. Nativz were so dominant in game number 1. I'm worried for Munster Rugby Gaming. They come back, they respond so well after Nativz were the ones making the proactive plays in the early games. So now we're going to have to see how these two teams react to that kind of situation, saying, hey, the proactive team in the early game has not gone on to win these games. Maybe we need to reassess exactly how we're doing this. But we're going to jump to a short break. When we come back, it's game number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.